Whoa, that's loud. Sorry. So, let's see. Hey guys. So we're gonna do, this music's loud. I'm basically, so that I'm like, YouTube ain't gonna take my stream down this time, I'm using YouTube specific free music on their page, so we should be good. So it's very generic, obviously. Did we prefer that kind of more ambient music, or did we like this? One second, let me do, this is kind of irrelevant because the chat won't pop up because this is for my Twitch, but let me get the list thing. Yikes, it's so big. Okay. You liked it? Okay, let's do that. Let's go to ambient. Ambient. Inspirational. Yeah, that was a good one. Ooh, funky. Okay. I wish that I could move chat. They don't really give me an option for changing. Hold on. Let me balance. Oh, wait a second. I also have my sound going through the stupid sound card. It's gonna be different now. Hold on. Thanks for dealing with my troubleshooting. There we go. Let's turn down Google Chrome. Still loud. Okay. All right, let's do this, huh? How you guys doing? So this is no, it's not like all the characters because there's a ton. Corel was trying to show me one with 500 characters. I'm like, that's a little too much. So we're gonna do every Star Wars character live action animated tier. So like the main characters that we see from the movie as well. Main. There's somebody on here I kind of glanced through that I did not see. So this will be interesting. Some will be more in depth than others, obviously, but and like obviously like ranking them will be, there's like different scales, right? Hold on, I don't want, we need to do the YouTube live. This is more relevant. Hello there, General Kenobi. Yes. You like my animated character? Thank you. Yeah, I got that if you are on Twitch, or if you are unsure about Twitch, it's definitely fun. I stream there regularly. I didn't say that right. But anyways, I stream there often, consistently. So if you want to see a live stream consistently, check that out. So obviously, I don't know how many characters this is. Oh, this is from characters from episode 1 through 9, Rogue One, Solo, The Clone Wars, Rebels, Mandalorian, Jedi Fallen Order, Battlefront 2. Cool. That still doesn't seem like much, but there's one character on here I haven't seen, and I'm very upset. Oh, no, he's there. Okay. Okay. I would love to see animated short. I'd love to see an animated short. Yeah, I mean, I think that would be I always thought it'd be fun to have just a little animated character blurb. Doo, 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 doo. But animation takes a lot of work. I guess the music doesn't autoplay. Let's go back to this one. This was a good one. Okay, so we are going to rank the characters, and then if you have any questions, I had forgotten and I didn't like prep my answers. There was a couple questions that were on my comment thing, so I'll go over that, but yeah, so let's just start with I may or may not go in order. I'll probably just drag people. What is that? Is that supposed to be Django? That'd be cool if you could, like, have a name when you hover over it, but I think that's more. Say the thing, Bart! I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/cell. XCLLE. Okay. So, I feel like I'm gonna not, like, you're gonna see a lot of characters high up. Okay. Let's just get this out of the way. Plo Koon, GOAT. GOAT. Gamer of the year? Is that gamer of the... What is that supposed to mean? Game of all time? I have no idea. I always forget what that means, but it means something good. This is my list, so he may or may not be at that location. Now, like I said, do not take this personally. This is completely objective, my opinion, just like the movie ranking. It has nothing to do with how good the character is. It's a combination of me enjoying the personality, enjoying maybe the potential that maybe we don't have yet. It's enjoying, it may be as simply as they're cute, or it could be just like, I can't get past a certain thing. But it's hard though, because there's some characters like, they are a good character, but I don't like them. It's weird. So, yeah. Greatest of all time, thank you. It was way simpler than that. I made it way harder than it needed to be. So, Plo Koon, for many reasons, people always ask, and that's my consistent character that I enjoy, right? I just love how, at least the way he's portrayed in the Clone Wars. In the movie, obviously, he has no personality, but yes. Yeah, thank you, Elle. So, Plo Koon's up there. The way he's portrayed in the Clone Wars, consistently to me, he has compassion. He has a deep care for not only the clones in his command, but when he's with Ahsoka, when he's with his fellow Jedi, he has a logical mind. Even on the council, when, like, Ahsoka ended up leaving, he pretty darn sure that he voted in her favor. Like, it seemed like Yoda, Obi-Wan, Plo Koon were, like, on her side, and then, like, everyone else was like, meh. But what is with Kit Fisto? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, so that's that is where Plo goes. I won't obviously go into depth with a lot of characters because some don't. So let's do Ayla. I'd say she's great. I think she's great from the most I saw of her was in the episode with, I forgot what it's called now, Jedi Crash, and then that arc. So she goes there. She seems to be very, I'd say, like, kind of basic Jedi-esque. Yeah, and honestly, I'd probably be giving her higher up than maybe she deserves, because we don't know much about her. In the Clone Wars, she was kind of blasé. Yeah, I might actually devote her to good, only because we just don't get much about her. We don't even get, like, a hint of what is, there's more to her, not that, which there clearly is. Like, all these people have more than what we actually are shown. But I appreciated her, her commentary and some of her thoughts, in particularly that arc. So, yeah, it was good lessons for Ahsoka from Ayla. Exactly, I agree with that. So that's why I would say good, because I don't know much about her. She's not bad. She's good. We just don't know much more beyond that. Ahsoka, I think, is also an easily say greatest of all time. I don't think she needs to be explained very much. I think everyone can agree she came a long way. I enjoyed. She is one of a few characters that we get to see like her journey, right? Because we saw her when she was young, when she's annoying, and you're like, whoa, okay, calm down. Kind of very Ezra and Anakin-esque, where when they're young. Even Luke, they're like, kind of whiny. She's like Anakin when they're younger, where it's a little cocky, and then they make some stumbles, they make mistakes. They realize like that part where she had to guide the pilots, or she was in command of the pilots, and then some of them ended up dying. Which happens in war. And so it's just like more and more as she's in the war and she has more responsibilities and she becomes wiser, as you do when you age. She became wise quickly, I think. Well, and then some people when they age don't become very wise. So yeah, Ahsoka's just a really well-rounded character, and even like the way she's portrayed in Clone Wars, the way she's portrayed in Rebels, and she became Gandalf the White, right? She very much did, and I think they were alluding to that. So, yeah, very much Ahsoka is definitely up there. So the next character, I'd say she's meh. I know there's a lot of people that probably say terrible. And I say meh because there's not much to her character. She's only in one movie. And I almost want to put her at good, because I think it just wasn't portrayed. There was parts that it could have been portrayed a little better, perhaps hinting to the audience what was going to happen. But both the audience and her team members outside of like a small sect knew what was going on. So I think they could have portrayed that better to make her come off. Because at the beginning, like, you don't like her until the very end, which even some people still don't like her, when she's with Leia, and she was listening to Leia's plans, and ultimately she was doing something that at the time that's the best for them. So honestly, yeah, for Holdo, I think her name, yeah, I know a lot of people would say terrible, but I don't think her plan was terrible. I don't think her plan was bad. It just wasn't portrayed very well for her team, and so people didn't know what to believe. I don't know why she withheld that information. I know it was just a risky plan. But I thought she, for being a leader and trying to hold to her truth, I guess you can say, hold to their plan, I thought she did good. And overall, I liked where she came, and then her sacrifice at the end there. I thought that was, yeah, withholding. I did that again. I know I did that when I watched it. But so honestly, I'd say meh. Because the way she was portrayed in the movie could have been better. But I thought her sacrifice was very commendable, and she's not a bad character. So, Anakin, definitely greatest of all time. I didn't obviously care for him too much when I first saw the movies and the prequels, only because, some of the personality we get from Anakin in those movies is kind of annoying or cringy. Attack of the Clones, anyone, that sort of thing. So, but again, like the Clone Wars, seeing him obviously as Vader, if you want to, I get it. It's different, but at the same time, not. So I still think he's the greatest of all time, because he's a very tragic character, very conflicted, a lot of emotional turmoil he's gone through. He's just a complex character. So I think for that reason, he's a good character, because there's complexity there. He shows interesting enough, like he shows as a male character, like he's very emotional, and he gives in someone to he has sadness, he has pain, he has loss, he has strength, he has he wears his emotions on his sleeves, even though he's a Jedi and he tries not to. So I think he is really good because he kind of has that growth in there. So for me, that's what I would say. Ventress, I would say probably great. Because I'd say great because I did like her character obviously change over time. Yeah, you're goat. There's still some more a part of her that I feel we didn't explore enough. But I think there was some of it in there when she went back to her home. She saw what happened to, obviously, her Night Sisters. She had a lot of loss, too, similar to Maul, which I haven't gone through yet. Her people, her family, everything she knew was wiped out. Same thing, like, she was trying to prove herself to be a great warrior. She's done some questionable things, and then in the end, obviously, she turns bounty hunter because, Dooku was over her, and obviously Dooku ended up dying, but yeah. Sean, don't you worry. So Ventress, yeah, I guess I don't have much more to say than that. So she's kind of like still kind of a mysterious character, but we did get to see some personality, obviously, and some background with Mother Talzin and all that. So that's cool. That's cool. I'm spacing her name. Ara Singh, right? Honestly, just the little bits we saw of her, I thought she was great. I thought now this changed mostly from the arc where it was, or I think it was one episode where Ahsoka was protecting Padme because Ara Singh was trying to kill Padme, right? I thought she was cool because she just was really terrifying and it was just a little big. So obviously we only know like a little bit of her personality, just her bounty hunter and her assassination stuff. So I thought she's one of the more interesting bounty hunters to me, just because of that arc. I saw a little bit more. If that episode wasn't there, I probably wouldn't put her at this spot. But I thought it just added a little bit more to her finesse and to her personality, to her skills. And obviously she had some stuff with Boba and whatever that other Trandoshan guy was. They need to make a TV show about Sabine. Yeah. You saw them at Walmart. Oh! Like little figurines. I like that. Or yeah, Ara Singh got a shout out in Solo. I think I can't remember what that was, but yeah, so yeah, obviously she's someone we don't know a lot about, but I thought as a bounty hunter in her role as a character, she was interesting. People aren't gonna like this, but I think he's greatest of all time. For the character he was so, okay, listen, I'm a simple creature at times. He was so cute, and I will never get over that small little, hey! It makes me laugh every time. So for that alone, I will put him the greatest of all time because it made me laugh. He made me smile. He did his job. Listen, he's this tiny little creature from a hole in the wall, and he's like, like, accessing all this information. And then plus after 3PO gets his mind wiped, he's the first to introduce himself to 3PO. So greatest of all time, that he's friendly, welcoming, and really smart and able to do that. So kudos to Baba Frick. Baby Yoda, or the child, or small green unnamed creature from mysterious species we have no official name for. I'd say great. Because obviously we don't know a lot. It's still a baby. But there's a lot of interesting things and a lot of potential. Like I said, I'm ranking partly on the potential. And I'm just really curious. And for me, I think it's great because I'm curious and I want to know more about it. So that's all I gotta say. It's not greatest of all time. There's nothing it's done super great or legendary. Now, it did some great things of healing and saving, but yeah. I don't necessarily care about like upsetting people. Obviously, this is a completely objective list, and I know it's very different than some people, but yes. So that's all. Yeah, I think it has cool potential. I forgot her name. Barriss? I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I have a hard time saying terrible because I have simple things about liking things. You turned her against me? I think Sabine, yeah, they have Rebel character on here. Sabine's on this list. So Barriss Offie, or vice versa. Hello. Hello, how's it going? Yeah, Barriss. Let's see. I'm hovering between great and good. I'm gonna say good because, ow. Obviously, I didn't like that she betrayed her friend, and she could have gone in a way different direction for stating her opinions and feelings about the Jedi Order. She could have did what Ahsoka did and left, and it ended up framing her friend, betraying her friend, completely like killing innocent people working in a whatever you call that ship dock thing, and it just was a douchey thing to do. And they almost died together. They fought together. They were good friends. They saved each other from a few different things. So it's just disappointing. She should have thought it through. She was given into the Sith, or she was given to her emotions. She was hurt. She was angry, and then she ended up doing some not great things. So she's good and not lower because obviously I believe in people making mistakes and being able to overcome that. So it was just unfortunate that she did that. So Imposter. Okay. Droids. What do you call it? Battle droids? Is that their official name? Beep beep, Roger Roger. Okay. I would say they are great. They're not greatest of all time. They're not legendary, but they're great because they have enough of personality to be interesting, and they do their job for what they're made for. And they're well known for, you know, being the droid for, yeah, Clankas, yeah. B1 battle droids, Clankas. Okay, so they're not high up because they as a unit, as individuals, haven't done anything that great. But I said that great, like over the great, but they're still great because they are interesting and unique to Star Wars, that people will be able to point them out and know, like, oh, that's the Star Wars battle droids. They were like there, they did that. So that's all. There's not much to them. This guy, I forgot his name. He was in Rogue One. He had a really cool gun. I gotta give it up, and I'll probably rank his friend the same. I would say great, because obviously we don't know a lot of background about them. But I thought his character was interesting because the gun was really cool that he used, and he kept with his friend. He supported his friend, even though he may have had some differences. Yeah, Baze Malbus. Thank you, guys. Baze Malbus. So I thought he was great because obviously there's only a small time period we get to know him. He's in one movie, short little kind of blip. But he goes with these strangers because they're like, you guys are trying to make this difference. We want to go. Partly his friend, and he was there for his friend. He trusted in his friend's belief in the Force, even though he had his uncertainty. And I thought his character was just interesting, you know, for not knowing much, for just knowing him from the movie. It was interesting and unique, which is sometimes hard to do in Star Wars, to be unique, but I thought he was unique enough to be that, so. Wait, really? That actor? Hey, Kat. I'm good, how are you? Privyet. R2 is there, yes, of course. Yeah, all the main characters from all that stuff. R2 is... I'm sure he is. If BD1 and BB8 and Chopper are here, D2 is here somewhere. I'm just not seeing him. Yeah, if freaking 3PO is here. If a friggin' gonk droid... Okay, there he is. Okay. So there he is. Callus is there. Yes, don't you worry. Listen, if this... I don't even know its name thing is there. Yeah. I don't even know what this frickin' thing is. I'm sure you guys do, though. Okay, so BB-8. When I first saw the movie, BB-8's sweet. I mean, how can you, like... I would say he's good. I wasn't super excited about him as a droid when I saw the movie, so I'm like, oh, they're just trying a different design. They're trying a different personality. But he's a sweet droid. He doesn't do anything wrong. He doesn't do anything, like, fascinating in the movies. He's no R2-D2, no offense. But no one can really overcome R2-D2. Like, he's a freaking boss when it comes to, like, battling, being there for his friends, so... These pictures are kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can do zoom in. There we go. Is that better? Oh, that might be too much. How about that? So you can still see the ranking. So yeah, not much more to say than that. That's BB-8. Hey, Slap. Okay. This guy, I don't know his name, but I know he's from Jabba's palace. I'm gonna say terrible, because he has weird things on his forehead, and he has no personality, and I don't care for him. Okay. This is supposed to be Boba Fett, right? Bib Fortuna. His first name's Bib. I don't want to say anything, because you never know if someone's name here is Bib. But... I mean, we know what a bib... In America, a bib is what babies use when they spill their food. I know he's a Twi'lek. But he has... I don't know. He just... And he's creepy. He has pointy teeth. I feel like he's gonna be oozing blood out of his mouth. That's all. I just don't care for him. Fortuna. I know. So yeah. Boba Fett. Right? Slap, thank you, appreciate it. This is supposed to be... Okay, so... or is this Jango? No, that's Boba. Jango is the silver, right? Boba is the green. Honestly, I know, people are gonna... I'm sorry, OT lovers. When I saw the movies, I don't know why people have so much emphasis on him. I guess when you, like, you get latched onto these characters, but now that I've seen, like, how much more there is, I just don't, like... Okay, he didn't really do much in the movies. He was just there. He's like, oh, I'm a scary guy. He was cool because he was a Mandalorian, but now that we know what Mandalorian's capable of and personality, like... That's all. That's meh. Meh is perfect. Okay, this guy. Honestly, I'd say he's good. Like, there's not much to him, but honestly, he's better than Boba. Because he's just this guy. He's like, I know some secrets. I'm gonna leave, which is risky. And then I'm gonna go to the end with my previous enemy, which is risky. And then he has his mind worked on, and he still ends up being able to fly and sacrifice. He sacrificed his life. You gotta give credit for them sacrificing for the greater good. So, that's all. Bodhi Rook, thank you guys for giving me the names that I spaced on. Boba's legendary. I'm sorry, Tenchi. I understand in concept. Even when he was in Clone Wars, he was a little brat child. But... obviously, I understand he's trauma seeing his dad beheaded by Mr. Mace Windu. So I get it. But there's just not much to him from what we see. So, I'm going off that. Okay, Gungan Leader. I'm going to say meh, only because the only thing I remember from him is going... I wish I could even do. But imagine I have what he does. So that's what I remember him doing, and that's all I know about him. That's why he's meh, but he's not terrible because of how he does the boss nas. Yeah. So Boba was in Clone Wars as a child, yes. Yeah, so that's why he's there. I mean, meh. Okay. Honestly, the reason I like Bosk is only because of Battlefront 2. The reason he's terrible is because I'm like, he literally is just standing in the background. I don't know anything about him. So that's all. He's meh. He's terrible. Give us more. Oh, 3PO. I might break some people's hearts with this, but... I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm hovering between meh and good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but whenever I see him, I go... Whenever I think watching the movies or the shows, I'm like, what's he gonna do? I don't know, but maybe he's good. Only because, like, he has a mouth. He adds some comedic bits, like in the original trilogy when he's like, oh no, they're dying. That was a funny line. Yes. And please, yeah, please, like JB said, please be kind to one another. No one's opinion is stupid. Okay? Let people have their opinion, a right to that. When it comes to Star Wars, it's just all objective. So please don't be disrespectful. I'm willing to take it, but take a look at, take it one look at my friends. I know. So obviously the sequels, he was a little more annoying than usual, but he had some annoying moments in Clone Wars. In the prequels, he was, I don't remember anything that stands out right now. In the original trilogy, he had some humorous moments. And I think it's because, you know, obviously he's just a character that's been around for so long that, and he's just always used as the comedic relief character. Like, really? And he always opens his mouth when he shouldn't. So I think it's just like over time you're like, oh, he's never, well, he's a droid. He's never gonna change. So of course not. So eventually I'm like, I'm just tired of him being around doing the same thing. So yeah. Anywho, okay, so people are probably gonna be like, listen, I like Cad Bane. I'm gonna say he's great. For me, I know. He's not legendary or GOAT because, I don't know, he's just not my favorite. But I like him. He's good. I get it. It's fine. For me, that's just, I don't have much more to say than that. I thought he was interesting. The Clone Wars put some interesting stuff out. But for me, when it comes to bounty hunters, the one I like, where are you? Right here, man. Mr. Embo. I'm going to say he's legendary. For me, he's my favorite bounty hunter. He has a freaking animal. He has a freaking hat that he uses as a frisbee, or he uses as a slide, and he has a gun, and he's just has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Now, Cad Bane does too. That's fine. Aesthetically, it's just not my style. It's a little bit more like Wild West, the dangerous type. That's just his style, and that's fine. Like, we got a lot of that vibing with like Han Solo and I don't know. That's just like the smuggler vibe. Embo's like, whoa, okay, alien-esque, a new style with your frisbee slide, and you're like a hunter. He's like a hunter, but he speaks like a cool language, and his voice is cool. So for me, I just like Embo over Cad Bane. Like, obviously, Cad Bane's talented. He's known. He's a leader, but he's also kind of a douche. But some bounty hunters like this, they just play the game they gotta play to get by and get their money. I get it. Phasma, honestly, meh. They just didn't give her, like, they made her out to be a big deal in the sequels, but they didn't give enough time. Like, again, like, we don't know much about her. And it sucks because I really like the woman who plays her. She's in Game of Thrones. I forgot her name. Starts with a T. The character's name. But anyways, Phasma's meh because in the movies, like, there's just not much excitement there. Kind of like just Boba. Like, you see them, and they have, like, one cool fight. I mean, one cool fight. It's, like, shortened, and, like, you are supposed to be terrified of her, or like she's supposed to have this presence, but they didn't build enough on it. But again, like there's a lot of new introduction, a lot of stuff we were supposed to feel that we just didn't have the time to delve into. If we had more time or we had more background, we'd probably feel a little bit more for these characters, but we just didn't. So, Brienne of Tarth, thank you. I'm like, there's a T in there, Tarth. I wouldn't say Targaryen, but I knew it wasn't that. So, yeah, that's all. Oh my gosh, I'd love to see Embo and Mando if that was even possible. I don't know how long his species lives, but... Alright, Rexy. Hey, greatest of all time. He's just one of my favorite clones. Obviously, he's front and center, but his personality is sweet. We see him as an old man. We see him be friends with Ahsoka. We see him fight back tears to try not to kill Ahsoka and still get a little moment out saying fives in that beautiful Mandalore arc. It brings some tears to my eyes to just think about it. I was holding back tears. I don't know. Anyways. So, Rex is just one of my favorite clones, and he's like man of the hour. He always wants to be a warrior. You guys said that he didn't want to be a commander because he still wanted to have responsibilities of a captain or something. So he's always been Captain Rex, and then eventually they call him commander, but he's not technically commander, right? So Cody always had technically superiority. He always had a hierarchy to him, right? So yeah, Rex is one of my favorites just because all parts of his life, he's just been a great character. And if it wasn't for the weird aging, like him and Ahsoka could have been cute together, but they're also great like friends, and that's perfectly fine. So yeah. So okay, what's her name again from Mandalorian? I'm rewatching it too, so we won't go too much in depth to this. Cara Dune, thank you. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Yeah, I probably agree that it's good. I hate it. I was about to, but I couldn't. Cara Dune is probably good. There's some interesting background story, but I feel like we could have gotten a little bit more. But hopefully, maybe in season 2, we'll get some more about that. Her character isn't interesting enough. She's got strength behind her. She's got independency, fighting for herself. So... Oh, yeah. So yeah, she's interesting, but I feel like there needs to be more. Caleb Doom, yeah. Wait, Cara Dune, Caleb Doom. Wow, that is interesting. I always, whenever their name sounds, I always want to say Calrissian, but that's Lando. What's his name? Cassian Andor, thank you. I don't know. I think it's the S's. I think, yeah, Lando Calrissian. And so I'm like, Cassian, and I get mixed up. So Cassian Andor. Yeah, honestly, I'd say good as well because he's cranky. So I'm not too much about crankiness sometimes. And he does some, you know, kind of more edgy things. Eventually he comes around. I'm not like, yeah, he's almost meh, but not quite meh. I'd say good because there's nothing he's done that stands out except for obviously at the end, like he sacrifices, they work really hard, but there's not a lot of like, I don't know, he's just all right. So I don't really have much more to say on that. Okay, so honestly, Palpatine, even though he's evil, I have to say greatest of all time because he's manipulative, he's scheming, he's smart, he's powerful, he's gone through so much, he's the Senate, yeah. I used to hate him, obviously, because I'm like, ew, he's a bad guy, he does mean things, which is still the same, but obviously there's complexity there, right? So, yeah, Palpatine is definitely going to be greatest of all time because his character is just, you have to have some brains to make a scheme and manipulate that literally planets, the galaxy of people. So, do it. Yeah, and plus, right now he's saying do it in my mind, so I have to, and I have no choice, but we'll pretend that I had a choice in this matter. Okay, Chewie, come on, man. He's been through it all. We saw him when he was a youngling, a baby, a furling, what do you call them? Baby Wookiee. He stuck it through, like, he met the Rebel Clan, he was in the original trilogy, he was in the sequels, he was... I mean, was he in the prequels? Technically, we didn't see him. That was his dad, right? Or was that Chewie? Yeah, so Chewie's been through it all. And Chewie is like, one, he's somebody that has the highest rating of, what is it, KDR? So when he takes a shot, he has the lowest chance of missing, right? He is in Revenge of the Sith. Okay, and I know he was in the Clone Wars. I don't know, was he in Rebels? A baby Wookiee's called an Itchy. You're kidding, right? Yeah, Chewie met Ahsoka and Yoda. Yeah, I know when he was young, he met them in the Clone Wars. So that's why I was confused. I don't remember seeing him in the movie. No, actually, he would be big enough by then. I forgot the timeline. More love for Bosk. Gold, we don't know much about him. That's all I'm saying. He wasn't in Rebels. He wasn't in Rebels. Okay. That's what I thought. He was in his 80s during the Clone Wars. Oh, but he was so small. In the Clone Wars show, wasn't that Chewie that came and he was, like, smaller? I was confused. He is 147 or he's 200. Wookiees were in Rebels, not Chewbacca. Yeah, I knew that. I knew Wookiees were, but yeah. Chewie is Kylo's uncle. What? $80 in Wookiee is like 8 in human, basically. Oh. Are you kidding? So, no, seriously, in the Clone Wars, when they did the island thing, and it was the Trandoshians were hunting the Padawans, the Wookiees came to help, and wasn't Chewie there, but he was, like, smaller compared to, like, some of the bigger ones. No, it wasn't Gungan that popped in there. I know Gungan is... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Lost Padawan arc. Yeah, when he came and rescued. Exactly, Alex. Yeah, but he looked physically smaller than the other ones, is what I was trying to say. So I remember saying, like, that's Chewie. Because it was Gungan, or was it Gungan, or there was a Wookiee there with them. But no, he came at the end and rescued. So, hey, Melkor. Okay, that's all. So that's why I was confused. Okay, next up, I would rank him the same as this guy because, you know, we don't get much about them, but this guy is not Force sensitive, but he believes wholeheartedly in the Force. He is blind. He's an excellent fighter. He puts himself in danger to protect what he believes in, and he goes through and he joins these people that he doesn't know, and again, he's blind, and he's trusting in his friend. He's trusting in these strangers for the greater good, and at the end, he makes a sacrifice, and he pushes that button through gunfire. So he is great because for the short time we know him, he believes in the Force. He is Force sensitive? Not like in the usual sense though, right? Oh, Gungan's my favorite L. Of the little baby younglings. Yeah, oh my gosh. He's so cute. Plus his freaking hilt. His lightsaber is awesome. So. Mel Curry, you shut your mouth. He's my greatest of all time for what we know of him. Hello? And plus, we don't, like, whether it's legends or not, whatever. Apparently he can do lightning. So, but that's besides the point. I don't even question me. I am one of the Force, and the Force is with me. He is Force sensitive, but he isn't as practiced as a trained Jedi. Okay. Interesting. That's what I wasn't confused. I wasn't sure about. I know that he believed in the Force, but maybe he was using the Force in his skills in that way. So you're saying he wasn't like, maybe he wasn't fully trained to be able to harness the Force fully? I know he wasn't a Jedi because he wasn't trained Jedi, and Jedi didn't really exist then, but... Chopper. Okay. Honestly, for me, I just love Chopper a lot. I almost want to say he's legendary. Yeah. He's going to be higher than these guys for me. Because Chopper is very much of a coward. At least in the beginning, Rebels. But he comes a lot. He grows. Like, as a droid, and, you know, obviously his memory is never wiped. He grows, and he sticks up as a friend. He has a personality. He puts himself in risky situations, whether he likes it or not. So, I like Chopper. I do. I grew, and he was a brat at first, and he's still a brat and sassy, but he still does, when it really comes down to it, he does it. He's a stubborn droid. But, yeah. Who is this? Cody? But it looks orangish. Yeah, I had a hard time catching what he was saying, Dill, but some of the things I did. I'm gonna be very biased. And some of it is maybe I don't remember some of the episodes he was explicitly in. I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't. I was gonna just put him good. Only because for me, he's not my favorite. And listen, yes. And it's my fault for holding a grudge. For him just willy-nilly commanding his troops and shooting Obi-Wan. He was the introduction to Order 66 for us. We are very mixed on this. We got anywhere from legendary to GOAT to meh. Yeah, Cody isn't as memorable as Rex. Cody doesn't seem to have as a personality as Rex. And maybe that's partly that, I don't know. Maybe it's partly because, you know, their general, Obi-Wan, is very much like in Jedi, so his leadership is probably like that. Except he's more caring than some other Jedi, but still he's a little bit more strict. Yeah, I just have hard feelings. No hesitation, execute Order 66. He's like, about time we take out this guy. I'm the new boss in charge. So we take out Obi-Wan, no questions asked. And whereas Rex is like, oh, I'm sorry. Please go change this. I'm not gonna blame him though. It just shows that why I have Rex as GOAT and Cody is good. Okay, this is another controversial one. Dooku is only good to me. Now, hear me out. My opinion, I've just never been a big fan of Dooku. He's a good duelist. Battlefront 2, when he focuses on you, he takes you out. No problem. But he's just not very exciting to me. I like him. Christopher Lee plays him, obviously. I don't know. I just never really wasn't excited. Me personally, he just wasn't someone I personally liked. That's all. I know this is a question why I know people would be like, excuse me? What? No, that just for me, I'm just not interested in him. I know his strength. I know he's talented, but he's just good. I just don't care that much about him. Just me personally. Maul, now he is legendary. Now, that's changed a lot from when I first did. This goes all the way from the prequels, and Clone Wars, and Rebels. He's a complex character. He is a much more complicated character than you would first think. It's not just about revenge, but it is. He wants to find acceptance. He wants to find his place. He wants to find purpose. He was taken when he was young, I imagine, or stolen from his family to be raised, brought up, trained by Palpatine, and then easily enough, he kind of just like gave up on Maul when Maul wasn't good enough, which no surprise to us. Palpatine's always looking for the next best thing, anything to make him look good and be powerful. And Maul disappointed. But Maul comes back with a vengeance. He gets chopped in half, and he freaking survives. And he turns into a creepy spider thing, and that was another thing. But then his brother comes and finds him, and together they try to, again, his newfound purpose after being kind of a little bit lost, a little bit crazed. He goes and tries to get some answers, and his answer says, I guess right now I need to get revenge because Obi-Wan took my purpose away from me. Obi-Wan's the reason that Palpatine left me, or Sidious left me, or I wasn't good enough because now I'm weak. So he finds his strength and he tries to take Obi-Wan, and and he's gone through the ropes. But yeah, so Maul is a really interesting character. Came very far from the small snippet we got in The Phantom Menace. So yeah. Vader. I love how they separate Vader from Anakin. Wow, there's so many. I partially... okay. So, he's obviously GOAT because everyone knows Vader. Like, people who are in or out of Star Wars know Vader. They know that breathing is famous. Luke, I am your father. People know that whether they've seen this movie or not. So he is greatest of all time for being none other than famous. I mean, let alone being famous. There's more to him than that, obviously. But Vader, Anakin, very complicated character. I don't know if I have much more to say on him. He's pretty self-explanatory. I always like to find the good in people. And Vader was very much, I guess in some sense, I like that people separate Vader and Anakin, and at the same time, I still see parts of them. I think obviously we get remnants of that in Rebels when he fights Ahsoka, and when we get there was another moment. Oh, obviously when Luke confronts them, like you see that glimpsing coming out. So Anakin's always there deep down, but he's been so immersed in this dark side, so giving into his grief and his pain and suffering, that this Darth Vader comes out and does some terrible things. Basically gives into things that were like, his worst qualities, right? So yeah, I mean, there's not much more to go in that. He's just Vader, right? This guy, meh. I don't know if I have much more to say than that. He was interesting. It has nothing against the actor at all. For me, it just wasn't exciting. That's all. That's just for me. Orson Krennic, thank you. Yeah. This is Babu Frick. Alright, this guy, honestly, I liked him more. I liked him more than these characters in the sequels. I just thought his character was a little interesting. He was obviously like, what's the word? He's not I wouldn't consider him fully villain. He's, you know, when they have like those cards, like what these character types are. He's very much like, I just thought he was, for me personally, I thought he was interesting because he, you know, he's looking for the next buck. He was really going for helping them until he found a better offer. So that's just, for me, that's just the character he was. His character was what it was. Like, he may have done something terrible, but I thought it was interesting. Worse than Krennic? Again, my opinion. For me, I found him more interesting than Krennic. This guy. I remember his name. He was in charge of the Red Dawn. Crimson Dawn. Krennic was a turd. I'd say he's good. I find him interesting. But nothing more compelling than that. He played the role, the villainous leader well enough to be entertaining, but nothing outlandish or Dryden Voss. Thank you guys. So, DJ. But yeah, so I found him interesting enough. When I have these guys down here, like, we don't see a lot of these guys, like, we don't see a lot of their personality. At least we get to see a little bit of personality here. Krennic, obviously we do, but for whatever reason, he just wasn't that. He's probably more good than meh for me, but Echo. I'd say Echo was great. He's not legendary for me, because he's not, for me, the status of these guys. But he's great. Obviously, he's been through so much. He wanted to follow the rules. He lived through so much. He lived through an explosion. He was tortured. He was an ARC trooper. So Echo's been through way more than most clones are, and he still came back to fight and overcame, and he ended up joining, I don't want to be a spoiler for you guys, incoming spoiler for season 7, he ended up becoming part of the Bad Batch. So do me good. You are Palpatine. Yes, you are Pierre. You are the goat. Wait, they separate Palpatine and Sidious? Well, I don't really differentiate them that much, honestly. I get it, but I don't even need to explain that. I mean, this is Palpatine. This is Lord Sidious. Technically. I mean, if you're gonna go Anakin Vader, although this is more of like, this isn't more of a change and more like they're the same person, but he's portraying one thing versus another to people. Now there are two of them. I'd say good. She's not met because I thought there's potential in this character to go somewhere interesting and get more in depth about, but it was very lackluster and short. She's not meh because there's still, like I said, there's some interesting things that I feel like potential is there, but oh, he's goat. One goat is not enough. Yeah. Enfy's Nest, thank you. So that's just me. Yeah, I know. So, I forgot I like this guy. What's his name? He's the short guy. Looks like a goblin. He fought with Ahsoka. We're over Krennic. Krennic's is over. I already ranked him. Evan Peel? Evan Peel. I actually found him... good is kind of a mishmash, I realize. So maybe I should move some of these people down, but for me, I liked his character. We only saw him, I think, in one episode, maybe a couple. But his fighting style and how he got along with Ahsoka, and he did some really cool, he fights similar to Yoda. I mean, a lot of those shorter statured people fight similar. But I thought it was really interesting, and I was really sad when he died. That was, yeah, I just thought he was a cool character, and he was a good fighter. I know, that's just how in ARC. Yeah, so in ARC, I just thought he was cool. I thought he seemed like he had a good personality too, like he had a good spirit. So. Arkin, yeah, that's right, yeah. I think, yeah, I don't think there's enough to separate Ben and Kylo. Ezra. So, Ezra, for a while, especially season 1 into season 2, I didn't like him. He was kind of meh and good to me. I would probably rank him now great, because he grew a lot, especially in the last season. And especially, like, in the last few episodes. So, I thought he was... like, and again, his story was much shorter. There's only 4 seasons of Rebels. His story is similar to me as Ahsoka. Like, you see them as a little child, almost bratty, cocky. They go through that phase. And then we see that growth and that wisdom building. And he overcame in his connection to animals. And he has a really spirit and a heart for them. But there's still a lot that we haven't explored yet in his character that we have got with Ahsoka. So I feel like there's a lot of potential there for him to become a bigger and greater character. And I still like the journey, the growth we saw in him. So for me, he's great because I see a lot of potential that they can by adding more. Again, like, you guys have to remember, like, we've only got 4 seasons of this show. Ahsoka gets 8 seasons plus some in Rebels. So you have to remember, some of these are just, we don't have a lot of time with these characters to get more into them. So you can get a feel and a sense for where they are going. And if you still don't like him, that's fine. But I thought, again, yes, he grew up so much. How is he like Aladdin? Because he's a street rat in the beginning, and he's bouncing and jumping around on the buildings, and he steals. Hello. Plus, he has a little bit of look like him. For me, I totally saw the Aladdin. Him and Maul are Aladdin Jafar. That's hilarious, Ollie. I didn't even think about that. And he wanted to steal him as his apprentice. So funny. Oh, we're not saying... Of course Maul is... I mean, if Maul is not better than Ezra, like, strength-wise, after all of the training Maul has had, that's the issue. You have to remember, Maul has been trained for a long time. Under Sidious. So, you gotta give people credit for who their trainer is, what they grew up under. He's young. Street rat, lot cat, I don't know, buy that, I don't. Finn. I like Finn. I'm gonna say, I know there's a lot of sequel haters in here, I'm sure, but I thought he was a great, again, I am building off of, like, great potential. There obviously is still a hint, and they didn't play enough into this in the movies, I agree, of his Force sensitivity. But even not, he grew. There's a short time span from him leaving, you know, they're brainwashed from being young, and he's trained as a warrior or soldier, and then he leaves because all of a sudden he's like snaps out of it, wakes up, and then he's still in that fight or flight mode. But ultimately he wants to leave, but eventually he stays because he starts to realize, like, I need a purpose, and that's my purpose in life. And I do believe in this. I do believe in trying to make a difference. And I see the acts clearly. There are other people like me that have been brainwashed and didn't have a choice. So I liked the introduction we got to him and the growth in him. And there's definitely some potential they didn't give into enough in the movies to portray that. But again, some of it we have in the future, whether it's animated or whatever. I understand the actor doesn't want to be part of it anymore, but that doesn't mean his characters no longer exist. There's still some interest there in the fact that he could be part of the next Jedi Order. So I think that's interesting. I think this is 5s. Is that 5s, guys? Let's see if there's another clone in there. It would have to be 5s if that's... It has to be. Yeah, honestly, he's legendary. I don't think he's greatest of all time because there's only room for one clone. Just kidding. 5s is legendary because he freaking conspiracy theorist of the day, of the millennium. This wild theory of like, okay, I see my friend Tup all of a sudden like snapped and it's like he killed a Jedi. And there's clearly something wrong, even though all the science and all the studying is telling us otherwise. All of the politics, everyone around me is telling me otherwise. But there's something not right. I know my brothers, I know myself, and there's something not right. So he puts everything on the line. He puts his life, he puts everything he knows on the line to find answers. He breaks rules. Good soldiers follow orders, not 5s, but he's still a good soldier because he knows in order to protect my brothers and protect myself, protect the future of what I fight for, as well as Jedi that, of course, I'm sure there are those he cares about, then I need to find out what's up. And eventually he does, until the very last moment he fights for that. And then Rex is able to draw on that later in the future. Yeah, it's unfortunate, obviously, that no one believes in him, and it's a very hard position to be into. And Rex is still someone that, for a long time, followed by the playbook, by the rules. It was always something they hinted at was Rex. He morally he questions his morals at times, but he still follows orders for the most part. So yeah. Zeb. Zeb is, I enjoy all the Rebel characters, so I will say that Zeb is either good or great. I'd say, obviously, ranking, I like Zeb because he's humorous. I love that arc where he finds others of his kind, and they do that ceremony, and they end up finding that planet. That was a beautiful arc, or episode. It was just lovely. And Zeb, yeah, I find Zeb just really, some of this list obviously is not going to be complete. That's nothing to do. Like, I like Zeb a lot. He's definitely higher than some of these characters if we want to, like, order them or whatever. But, like, I have Ezra. Great. I don't know. So, yeah, that's all. I liked Zeb a lot. He was very strong. He had a heart. He, you know, all of them were family. All of them fought for what they believed in. So, oh yeah, I ship Callus and Zeb. Okay, General Grievous. Even though there's not a lot of like background, like in some sense, there's not a lot of personality there. And what I mean is, like, he's kind of like military, strategic, very much focused in his role of what the machine he's been created for, to be a great warrior, a fighter. So for me, he's legendary because he's very unique. He's very talented. Obviously, if we're considering original Clone Wars, woo, he's terrifying. Takes out literally clusters of Jedi. And Clone Wars didn't portray that as well. I know a lot of people state that, and I agree, especially from the original Clone Wars. If he's supposed to be like a Jedi fighter, then he did part. But when it comes to Battlefront 2, yeah, he's terrifying, man. I do not want to come across a good Grievous. I can't play him. He's hard, but yeah, so he is a really good character. He's almost GOAT. For me, not so much because he's not my personal favorite character, because I feel like I'd like to know a little bit more of his background and history, and I'm sure it's out there, and that's just me. At this time and at this moment in time, he's legendary for me. So, this guy. Hux. Yeah, I was going between meh and good. I liked him more than some of the meh characters, and I think that's... I'm the spy. Hux, I feel like they did him dirty in some regards. I have a hard time. I'd say meh as well. I feel like they could have did more with his character. This guy's meh. What is it? Did you guys say his name's Piet? Or that's from a different movie, huh? Yeah, it could have been good. Hux should wear a tux. They couldn't figure out what to do with him. Yeah, and honestly, that's partly them changing direction, right? Did I eat my sweets? No, I have the other half. I ordered waffle sandwiches. Oh no, this one's moist. This one has banana, coconut whipped cream, and almonds. Pride is much better than Hux. Oh yeah. Yeah, where is Pride on this list? Is she really not on here? Interesting. Listen. I'd say they're legendary. Just because there's not much to them. But they are what they are. Thrawn? Is GOAT. We're talking about Pride, not Price. Different. Oh! Pride is that guy. This guy's Pride and she's Price. Lol. Speaking of, though, she's not on the list, which is kind of surprising, but... Yeah, Thrawn, I mean... He came a long ways, and now my only... And obviously, people love him from the books, so that says something. That I love him just from Rebels, and I'm sure my love and appreciation for him will grow. He is a very interesting character. He's an alien species that made it a high position in the Imperial Army that is very xenophobic. So that says something. He's very strategic. He knows what he wants. He goes for it. He has... would you say that he's honorable? He's very analytical. I don't know if... I can't remember if he follows an honor system. But, yeah, Thrawn's voice is like... chocolate milk. Smooth chocolate milk. What? They are what they are. Tarkin? As much as I'm like, ugh, Tarkin. Maybe he's just legendary. He's been there through it all, and he's always had his goal set on position and power and strategy and governmental control. For me, he's not at the level of, like, these top tier dogs. But he's legendary because he is... Moff Tarkin. Oh yeah, Thrawn's voice can melt butter. Yeah. So I think Tarkin is definitely, as much as I didn't really care for him, I do appreciate him, respect him because of his role and his character. And, you know, you see him in the original trilogy and you see him in the Clone Wars, and over time coming from the Republic over to the Empire to making his top tier to being on the level with Vader and Palpatine. Like, he can be in the room with them and hold his own. And he's just a military guy. When these are two, like, strong, powerful force users that can easily manipulate them, he's holding his own and he's confident and he knows what he wants. And he knows what he wants to represent. and he's like their next official person, right? Yeah, Greedo is, I mean, we only know Greedo, I mean, he probably has more personality than these two, but I don't know enough to care. This guy, I think he's good. There's not a lot there, and he's done some questionable things, but I don't care enough to go into it right now. So, Han Solo. Meh. Okay, Harris. Just kidding. Han Solo. I'd say he's legendary. For me, he's not top dot like GOAT, but he's done some great things, even though he was skeezy and he was a little bit of a slime ball when he was in the original trilogy. He overcame that and he grew and he fell for Leia and did that and he was what he was. So I'm sorry, he's legendary, not GOAT for me. That's all. I like the top GOAT characters more than him. So legendary is a good place for him. He has his part. Hera Syndulla. Okay. Now, this is, I like her. I think she's legendary because I like her in Rebels. And partly also I read New Dawn, which is a little background in that. And she is an excellent fighter. She's an excellent pilot. She is a good fighter. She is a good mother role. She tries to be responsible, but she has a heart and care, and she challenges Kanan when he needs to be challenged. So she is definitely legendary because she's been through a lot. Her people were enslaved or, crapped on, essentially. She, made sacrifices for what she believed in. So I know people are upset that he's down here, but I may have made some mistakes. It's not perfect. And again, do you really think this is a perfect system to rank people on a one scale? There could very much be an order. It's more of a graph rather than this is your spot. So calm down. It's just a list. Okay. He's a brat. He's a pirate. But he sticks to his guns, and he is who he is. He's legendary because the character he is. I always happen to laugh any episodes he in. Some people don't like him, and that's fine. Just like some people like 3PO, and I don't. I like him. I like Hondo. For who he is, he could be GOAT, for sure. But I think legendary is all I want him to be, so I like Hondo. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Hondo is Jack Sparrow of space. So much. Except no, he drinks. Yeah, no. Yeah, he's definitely Jack Sparrow. I think this bounty, I forgot the droid. Is it IG-88 or something? IG-8 bounty hunter. I thought the character was great. The personality was funny. And when he became, I don't, IG-11, okay, thank you. I don't want to go too much into it because I'm still rewatching The Mandalorian, but from what I remember, it's a character that I really liked, and he did some great things, so, yeah. Oh, Hondo has some of the best one-liners? I think he does. Jabba. Ugh. Okay, I'm saying legendary. Again, I'm ranking based on a lot of things, which I've gone over, but I am ranking him there because the Hutts are well known, right? And he is like the Hutts that we will always know and remember, Jabba. He is gross, but these are literally giant fat roll slugs that are not very strong. I mean, they can't move very fast, I'm sure. They have no arm barely to fight. So these are literally vulnerable creatures that somehow knew how to make money, make a business, get a whole mass of people around them to protect them, to entertain them and pleasure them and do their bidding. So you gotta hand it to the Hutts for knowing how to run a business. And sometimes Hutts can be cute. Jango's definitely higher than Boba. But for what I know about him, the only reason I would maybe consider him great is because he's a template for the clones. But otherwise, the character in itself, he was definitely better than Boba. but we saw him fight, put up a good fight against Obi-Wan. But that's all we know about him. So I think he's interesting, and that's all. I just don't know enough about him to put him there. I thought she was meh. She's not terrible because I thought, again, we only know a little snippet of her. But she's another deserter because they snapped out of it and they decided to make a life of their own. And then she fights for a purpose, and they fight. And they, again, another sacrifice they're willing to make for the people. So you gotta commend them for that. Jar Jar Binks. Most people are gonna put Jar Jar terrible. I'm gonna put him at good. Because there are some funny moments he does. Definitely, he's always true to himself. He's the Goofy of Star Wars. He's clumsy. He does some facepalm stuff. But his facepalm stuff is almost less cringy than 3PO. Honestly, for me. So I think he's not terrible. I don't find him as annoying as some other characters, so. Honestly, I put her character here. I liked her character, but... And she obviously, it's commendable the sacrifice they made. I found these characters more interesting than her. She's just a basic human, just like him. She kind of fights. She was trained by the gun from Saw, but meh. Just for me, personally. She's definitely better than these folks, but she's not more than that for me. I found the droid hilarious. No, I'd say great. The droid was funny. Sacrifice, had a personality. Jane Urso, thank you. K2SO, yeah, K2SO was, I thought, was a fun character. This is another debatable one for folks, but for me, I loved Kanan. He had growth. I don't know why. Every time I see him, it makes me want to cry. But I love Kanan. I did not like him season 1. Like, I'll tell you, he's just like Ezra. I did not like him. He was cranky. He was standoffish. He was uninviting. He was very, like... But then you understand, like... But then I read his comic, his 12-issue comics, and I get that background. I love Kanan. So... He's one of my favorite Jedi. He's up there. Yeah. I can't really talk much more about him. I don't know why. It just makes me emotional. And I don't want to start crying for for no reason. So, yeah. I would marry Kanan. But no. Him and Hera together are beautiful. This guy, honestly, I'm sorry. I just don't like him. I've always not liked him. He seems like a douchebag. He has a million wives to have babies with, which is fine. That's just for... repopulation. But he seems like a crank. I don't know much about him personality wise. We don't even really get to see him in Clone Wars. So there you are. Kit Fisto. That's a terrible, scary picture. I'm putting him good because the only reason I know more about him now is that episode Underwater. And he did awesome there. And he's always like happy. He has good personality. He did stuff done. I'll put him good. Almost great, but I just don't know much about him. So, yeah. Kiadi Mundi is sad to hear that. I know. I'm sorry. I've just never liked him, just like Dooku. I don't know why. I just wasn't a fan. That's just personally. But yeah, Kit Fisto's smile is contagious. That underwater arc, honestly, I ranked him good because I know more about him now. Before, I didn't really know much about him. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't hardly know him. But everyone had a crush on him, apparently. But then you see his abs underwater and his smile, and you're like, okay. So, yeah, he's there. That's just for me. I know. Again, this is all from what I know from the Clone Wars, from Rebels, from the movies. Obviously, there's comics and books. I'm sure there's information about these characters, but for me, what I see, if I don't have any memorable moments from them, I certainly don't have it from Kiadi Mundi. Then Kit Fisto, I do have some. So, I've spoken. Exactly. Honestly, I thought he was a great character. He's not legendary or GOAT for me, but I thought he knew what he needed to do. He wanted to retire. He was willing to help for those to get the peace he wanted, and for and then seeing a Mandalorian just for his own kind of enjoyment. But I thought he was a fun character, and then he's just a good character. So yeah, again, some of the Mandalorian characters I'm not going to go in depth about. I might be rushing some of these other ones because there's a long list. I like Kylo Ren's character. I'm not going to say he's GOAT, but I'm going to say legendary because I did find his character interesting. I found the Knights of Ren interesting. I liked his growth. I still see Kylo Ren and Ben obviously in the same similar wavelength, as in, like, if you're saying Anakin and Vader are a little bit more dispersed, whereas Kylo and Ben are a little bit closer on the same plane of, like, person. So I like Kylo. I know you, like, all you sequel haters can close your eyes, but I enjoyed his character and I thought it was cool. Who's this droid? Oh, this is the Lando lover. Yeah, I enjoyed her. She wasn't as annoying to me as some other people had for her. She wasn't terrible, but I thought I still liked her character. There wasn't much more of it. Yeah, sorry. Again, this is my ranking. I don't care if you think that is better, but listen, if you're gonna call Kylo whiny, hello, Anakin, hello, Luke. They were super annoying. And Luke was like, but I want to win the power converter. But I want to stay with my friends. And Anakin's like crying over like spilt orange juice. And I didn't get to be a Jedi Master. I'm going to slaughter some children. I'm going to listen to Palpatine, Darth Sidious. So I'm just saying, like, his whininess, that's a Sith. And who did I call a drama queen? Maul. Maul's a drama queen. So Kylo's right up on there with a drama queen Sith. That's just the way of the Sith, man. Be drama queens. Be all about being a whiny brat. So that's all I'm saying. Give people a break. Yeah. Again, we have way more time span with these characters. We've only had 3 movie sequences. What, it was a year between movie 7 and 8. And what was it? 3 years between 8 and 9? You gotta give people time to grow. Kylo was in a Sith. He's working on the dark side. Sith or not, he's on the dark side. That's what I'm saying. Just saying. Lando. Oh, they even have okay, they have old man. Oh, wow, they even separate old. Okay, that's hard. I'm gonna say, he was fun. He was great. I'm not gonna put him legendary status because, I don't know. I thought he was fun. His character was very much like, had that like ladies man vibe, and he was like funny, and he almost did something betrayal like, but then he kind of came back, and then he came and rescued his friend. So he was good. He was a good character. I liked him. Luke, yeah, okay. I grew to like Luke a lot. Now I'm not talking about whiny farm boy Luke. I'm talking about Return of the Jedi, Master Jedi Luke. Luke is great. Luminara, I just don't know much about her. She had some great moments. She had a good fight with Ahsoka against Ventress. That was nice. But she was kind of more stoic. And, like, there's some Jedi that seemed more like, meh. And she's kind of on that department. She did some good things and some better things than some other Jedi, but for me, that's all. Well, nobody thinks whiny Luke is legendary. Whiny Luke, terrible. Mace Windu. This character is, a lot of this is based on my perception of the potential he has. And honestly, I want to say great. He's not legendary because he called Ahsoka a citizen. But, and he didn't make, I don't judge him for not making Anakin master. We agree that he wasn't ready, even though he was upset about it. But he did some things that weren't, he came off too cold, uncompassionate. But he did have his moral compass, and respect him from that episode arc with Jar Jar in not when he was fighting with the enemies and he didn't want to hurt or kill anybody, and he just like was like dispersing them and disarming them. Like that gave a little bit more background or some spirit to Mace. Like you're like, okay, there's more to him than this. Like he comes off as an unemotional, uncompassionate guy who's in charge of the Jedi Council, and maybe he's just too much on his high horse. But then you see there's some depth there. So there's some background that I want. We want a Mace Windu show. I want that. So that's why I'd say he's great, because he got demoted when he called Citizen and he's kind of douchey to some people, but he has a lot of potential and he's still a great character. And again, he's a really good fighter. So I'm too weak. Don't kill me. I love that part. I mean, it's stupid, but it makes me laugh. It's not stupid, because it's manipulative. It's exactly what Palpatine is. I would pass in the Mace show. Not me. I think probably, obviously, some people would, but he is one of the most likely Jedi that I think have the potential to still be alive. All he did was fall out of a window. It's not a big deal in the Jedi sense. I like this guy. I'm not gonna say he's legendary or GOAT. I thought he was we only know him as the Mandalorian. I thought the Mandalorian was an interesting character, and we started to see some more background on him. We still have more potential to see with him, but yeah. I like her. I'm gonna say she's legendary. She's been around the block, obviously. She's running a bar. I don't really know what to call her establishment, but she helps people, but she challenges people. She helps make people think in a way. She's like that character that is kind of like a jack of all trades almost kind of person. I don't know. That's how she kind of comes off to me. Rose is her name. Not Rose. Sorry. Not Rose. Maz. There it is. Yeah. I wish he would have stayed masked. Oh no! You didn't see Game of Thrones? I thought he's handsome. But you like the mystery of it. Mm-hmm. That's what they say. They say it's the mystery of it that makes it more exciting. Maz is Chewbacca's girlfriend. Yeah, I'm sorry. I told you, like, he's great, but I want more. With only good 7. Obi-Wan's being very uncivilized. Mother Talzin? She's either good or great for me. I'm gonna say great. I know, because I do rank her above, for me, interests. I keep saying that to remind you guys. This has nothing to do with... And again, this could change in the next day. But for now, like, I think she's an interesting character. I think, obviously, the Night Sisters and that magic they do is very interesting. She's obviously strong, that she has the potential to harness almost a sense of immorality, but immortality, in a sense, like, harnessing her soul. And, I don't know, her magic is making them capable of doing some stuff. And reanimating people, or, you know, zombies, or restructuring people. So, gotta say, that's pretty cool. I don't know. I know him, but he was in the Millennium Falcon, right? If you read the Son... I did read the Son of Dathomir series. I think I may have rushed over it. There's some parts of it I don't remember. Nianum. Obi-Wan! I didn't rank you yet. Yeah, I just don't know enough about him to make an opinion, honestly. That's all. This is Viceroy. I mean, meh, maybe good. He just is like kind of a side character that's always there, and he's just there for the money. I don't know. Oh, his laugh. Obi-Wan. I love Obi-Wan. I don't care what you say. And I'm going to put both. I know all you original trilogy lovers are going to be mad at me. I'm just going to put him legendary. I got to see a lot more stuff out of him. I don't know. Maybe they're the same. He obviously fought with Vader, then he disappeared. That's just how I'm going to rank him. That's all. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I like Obi-Wan. I don't know if I need to go more in depth about that. There isn't a difference? Sure there is. Would you rank this Luke differently with this Luke? Yes, you would. So I don't want to hear it. I know people are already upset because I ranked the Last Jedi at number 3 on my list, but he might even just be great actually. I have him up there because obviously he gave up and he did some questionable things and he did some crabby old man stuff, trauma. I'm alone on the island all by myself for a while, but he came back and he did some Jedi Master teachings and had some wisdom and he passed on and showed strength. So there is still potential there. Blue milk versus green milk. Old man, this Han was a meh, honestly. No offense to Harrison Ford. There is some, yeah, aspects of Han Solo that just is kind of douchey. So there's some meh things about Order 66. Why is Gonk only legendary? Older, we didn't see much about Lando, but I'm gonna put him at great. Oh yeah, with this Lando, because he did group up with them and he brought a whole bunch of friends to help them save the day, so that's pretty good. Old Leia, I mean, you gotta give kudos to. I'll say she's great. This is not in an exact order, by the way. I'm just putting them where they can fit. I'm gonna say Elder Leia. I mean, you know, she is dedicated to the rebels, to fighting what's right for people. And she made sacrifices to save her son. She went through some hardship. She was a mentor to Rey. So she did some good stuff. Padme, I'm contemplating between legendary and great. Probably just great for Padme. No, honestly, I'm gonna say legendary. She's this young girl on Naboo, and then they're given queenship. She has a lot of responsibility and leadership put on her at a young age, and she has to have that responsibility and leadership on her shoulders, again, at such a young age. And then she moves on to being a great senator. She does good by trying to take care and respect her people while still trying to have her personal life and still trying to uphold what she believes in good. Not to mention, she puts herself in dangers and again fights for what she believes in and knows how to hold her own. So I think she does really good for being somebody that is just human, I guess you could say. No force sensitivity, you know, doing what she can in politics and protecting those she cares about. Poe. I almost didn't recognize for a second. Poe. I liked Poe. There were some moments I didn't like him. That he was a little bit more annoying. Mostly his crankiness. But I still found him a good character. I enjoyed him. He was a good pilot. Some people would say a little bit too good. They criticize her for being a lovesick puppy. Again, I give examples that love makes people seem stupid at times. And when you are infatuated with people. And plus, Anakin was overly infatuated. So she probably rubbed off in that way. Ugh! Terrible! Okay, Princess Leia. Gosh, she's the GOAT. I'll go a little bit more in the Krell. So, honestly, I almost want to put him terrible because I just get so frustrated and cranky about him. In the sense of characters, I don't think he's terrible. Yeah, he did his job, but he was a douchebag. He was disrespectful. He ended up being a dark Jedi, slaughtering innocent clones. For the character he was, I'd say he's good, but it's hard for me to put him there. I'm going to leave him at terrible, because that's where he is. That's where he is. I don't care. He's a traitor. F Pong Krell. That's just where he's staying, whether I think he's a good character or not. Kira. Oh wait, I didn't go into I mean, Leia, I like her a lot in the original trilogy. She was independent. Gosh, one thing I was little, like, they didn't really show much reaction from her literal planet. Everything she knew and grew up on and loved, destroyed in front of her. But besides that, she was a good fighter. She was sassy. She knew politics. She stuck up for herself. She stuck up for those she cared about. She was just awesome. Yeah, Krell in the hell category. Kira, honestly, meh. I wasn't super excited about her character. I often question, I was confused by her character. I thought, obviously, she just filled a young Han Solo's love interest. And she, I don't know. There's a lot of mystery to her that I don't know much about her. So, yeah, Kira's down there. Qui-Gon, GOAT. We don't know much about him. He's a mystery we all love to solve. He was the one that maybe needed to be the father figure that Anna needed to save Anakin, to save the Jedi. He was a true Jedi. He knew what he wanted, and he had a connection to the Force, and he was willing to question the Jedi Council and tell him to go suck it. It was very unfortunate that he died as he did. And obviously there were some blind spots and maybe some of his beliefs, but perhaps he knew in that time that was the time he needed to go. Who knows? Maybe he stopped caring. Maybe he was depressed. I don't know. But I think ultimately it just was, maybe they could have portrayed it wrong, but I think he just died. Maul was a good fighter and Obi-Wan came back, but Qui-Gon has a lot of interest to me that I think, yeah, he's a true Jedi and he's powerful and he has a connection to the Force that none others have found or had. So Qui-Gon deserved more for sure. I think we would have loved to see more Qui-Gon. And I thought Liam Neeson portrayed the character well. He was a very, he was stoic in a different way. He was poised. He was kind of remnant of like what I would imagine a Buddhist monk, which is again what the principles of the Jedi Order kind of state. Peace and serenity. And they got too set in their way into their role, into their rule mindset. So yeah, Liam Neeson. R2-D2, definitely GOAT. Having, keeping his mind intact was definitely a favor for himself. But, he fought. He took out droids. He took out people. He defended himself. He rescued Mace, Windu, and Anakin when they got stuck in the ship. He was scared, but he still kept going. He would scream and, like, beep-a-boop all the time, but he still did the things. Like, R2, yeah, is definitely GOAT. This thing, I have no idea what you are. I have no idea what you are. I mean, I know where you are, but you're terrible. This is the thing. That's the thing underneath Jabba's. Why does this get on the list? This is the thing under Jabba's thing. Rey. I'd say she's legendary. She's not GOAT for me. Because I still feel there's again, just having 3 movie arc about somebody, I need more to know about her, but I enjoyed her character. I understand your feelings about the sequels. This isn't that question. And I understand people see her as a Mary Sue, but I have debates about that. I like Rey, and I think she deserves better, and I would like to see her create the new Jedi Order. So. Oh. Oh yeah, he was the pilot in... Oh. I liked him. For what he was in Solo, I liked him. I don't really have much more to say on him. Yes, yes, we all know this song. Rey is a Mary Sue, Kylo Ren sucks. Rose Tico. Why is Ezra only great? Because I found him annoying at first. I like him a lot. I think he's great. I kind of went into more details. But sorry, my brain's... I don't think Rose is terrible. No. I think she is a... They kind of did her dirty in the 9th movie by not really giving her much. She could have had potential by getting on the ship with them. She's either met or good, just because there wasn't much background in her. But I thought that she wasn't a terrible character. Sabine Wren, I thought, was legendary. Maybe even GOAT. Gosh, that scene with her and Kanan fighting and Ezra. Maybe she's up here. I thought she had struggles. She was exiled, I think. Was exiled from Mandalorian, or she left. She left to fight with the rebels. A Mandalorian in heart and beliefs, and even though she was kind of, you know... But she wielded the Darksaber. She had challenges. She confronted her family. She got reunited with her family. She has a wonderful journey. Yeah. Sabine is good, GOAT, or meh. What? Satine, I liked her. I know people may not like her because of her pacifist beliefs. But again, I respect people who hold to their beliefs, even if they might not be the most understood. So I gotta give her credit for being Obi-Wan's love interest, for one. Being based off of the love interest in Rogue Moulin Rouge. But either way, she was a good politician. Obviously, her pacifist beliefs were questionable for the Mandalorian culture. But she still did her part to do the best by the people that she thought, you know? She always tried to do best for the people. Savage, I liked Savage. I'm either great or good. I'm gonna say good because I liked his character. Again, they're not in order. I liked his character a lot. But they did him dirty by not giving him any personality, no personal drive outside of just finding his brother, and then basically either listening to his brother's orders, or listening to Sidious's orders, or listening to the Ventress's orders, or listening to Mother Talzin's orders. He doesn't really get his own thing, so he's always listening to somebody, and he's always like, but I like him. He's still a great character. But yeah, he's a lapdog. And so I think that was just did him a disservice by doing that, not giving him a personality. And maybe they were just going that route because he was basically Frankenstein's monster, and that's maybe what his mind was turned into. Who knows? But I liked his character a lot. Meh. It's Anakin's mom. I mean, there's nothing wrong. She's just... person. I just don't know much about her. She took care of... She was a good mom. That's all. Honestly, meh. I never was excited about Snoke. I thought his death, although I get it, it makes sense, could have been better. I know she was nice. She's just, her character's not exciting to me. But again, like, for her role, for her job, sure, she's the GOAT. She's the mom of the mom doing best for her son. I could say that. But I'm just saying meh because I'm like, I don't care for it. Snoke is meh because he didn't really come off that scary to me. They were trying to do a Thanos by having a big projection of him on a big throne, and then he was right in front of you. You never really got to see his strength, see him fight. So honestly, it's meh because I'm like, I don't know how powerful you are. I don't know how good you are. There's nothing you're showing me. These are all just word of mouth. Stormtroopers, or are these First Order troopers? No, I think it's just trying to say troopers in general because there's nothing else. They're good. They're great. They're not super good because they're not, like, all good at shooting. But they're great because they're memorable. We all know what stormtroopers are. They're everywhere. I have them right here on my keyboard. Troopers. So, like, clearly, Star Wars. But, yeah, clones are better. Troopers are great. Clones are GOAT. Exactly. What's this guy? The guy from Solo. I know exactly who he is, but I don't know his name because I'm not good at that. I thought he was good. I'd say he's good. I liked his character, but I like Woody. Is this Woody Harrelson? I just like that character. Tobias Beckett. No, Tobias Beckett is this guy. Where is he? What the F? This is Tobias Beckett. Wait, really? This is Tobias Beckett? That isn't, for some reason, that doesn't sound right. But I liked his character because I thought his fighting was fun. And I think it's mostly because Woody Harrelson played him. And I like him. Yeah, so I think it's mostly Woody that makes me rank him so high. And some of these characters, honestly, who they're played by, like Samuel Jackson, Liam Neeson, Christopher... And the only reason I have Dooku as high as he is because it's Christopher Lee. But Dryden Voss, thank you. I don't know why. I'm just like, no, it doesn't sound right. Okay. Beckett killed Ara Singh. Hey! Yeah. So that's why I think he's a cool character. I'd say, oh my gosh, she's the same actress in Westworld. I'd say I'd probably put him over here over that. I just don't know much about her. Obviously, they were in a relationship. She did some cool stuff, but it was very short-lived. So, meh, he's gross. He's not terrible, but he filled his role, but I don't want to see his face. Maeve, yes, yeah. Val is the actor's name? Or the character? Yeah, Woody Harrelson made the character more fun, exactly. So that's, yeah, so that's the reason why, like, I'm mostly putting him that high, because, okay, as soon as you said he killed Ara Singh, that's why I'm ranking him higher. But I love, yeah, Woody Harrelson. He always does some fun stuff. Ranking the real person, Mila would be higher. I mean, I like her stuff, but she didn't bring out the character. I mean, I would have probably put Kira lower. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it does help the character and sometimes it doesn't. Watto is, I wouldn't say terrible. He's meh. He had slaves and that was terrible, obviously. And then Annie comes back, goes, little Annie. And he's like an old, crotchety old man. And clearly his life is still in shambles. So it's like karma, I guess. Oh, you hurt Wampa's feelings? Well. Oh, Thandie Newton. That's right, Newton. That sounds familiar. Ewoks. Even though they're creepy, I'm going to put them legendary, especially after playing Ewok Hunt and Battlefront 2. Those are terrible, I mean, terrifying little suckers. Don't look delicious. Yoda! I think Yoda's GOAT. Yoda's tried and true Star Wars. Yoda's been there through it all. He's there in the Force. He's there in the present. He's in the future. He's in the past. He has the good side and the bad side. He has a wisdom. He's a small... He's like, size don't matter. I'll show you what it's all about. I shouldn't need to explain. Ugh. I'm sorry. I just don't like him. And honestly, I don't think... It's not bad. I don't think he played a good Solo. He played a good Han Solo. I'm just meh about Solo sometimes. I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. Honestly, he did the role he needed to do. I'm mixed. The movie was fine and okay, but I thought he did a good job of portraying a young Han Solo. So, Nani? What? And yet he let Palpatine destroy the galaxy. I didn't say these people don't have flaws. We're not ranking on perfection. Do you know how many mistakes a lot of these characters made? It's called being a living being. Okay. I mean, you gotta give Donald Glover credit. I'd say great. He did Lando. I mean, obviously seeing Lando, I thought he portrayed a young Lando well. And of course, I love his acting. I mean, he's just a handsome man, so maybe I'm being biased now. Zero kind of annoyed me. But at the same time, Zero was an interesting character for the Hutts to have, being one that speaks basic and not Huttonese. I know the others know how to speak it, but he chose to speak basic, and he was sassy, and he did things different than other Hutts. So for him, basically being different and true to himself, Zero is annoying, but I still have him up there because, I don't know, I just found him more annoying. Disgusting. Let's see. We're almost done. I like her character. What's her name again? You guys will let me know. I don't like Boba. I don't like him. I don't like young Boba. All Hutts. No, I know that, JB. That's why I said Zero chose to speak basic. I know they all know basic. Zori? Yeah, I actually like her. I may even almost put legendary, but she didn't do anything. I don't know. I liked her character. I thought it was fun. I know we only saw a short thing, but for me, she stuck out because I like her outfit. Her voice sounded cool. She fought and she was sassy and they were involved in the spice market. Now they're like underground stuff. But then she came out of nowhere. She's like, here, you're fighting for something you believe in. And we had a connection in the past and I do care about you. Take this thing that I know it's really hard to get. It'll mean more to you. And then they came, aha, with Babu at the end there and showed up. So I thought it was fun. I liked her character. Callus, honestly, is legendary. I didn't like him at first. You can tell by my early Rebels episodes, just like Ezra and Kanan. But the amazing thing they did in Rebels is that they had character development and it made you start to like characters once you knew more about them. So Callus, I love Callus. I love him and Zeb's relationship. Honestly, I'm going to upgrade Zeb. Where is he? I don't know why I put him good. I'm gonna probably put him with they deserve to be together. They are lovers. I ship them. Not really. They're just best friends forever. But I thought their little dynamic together was cute and they were really fun. And it was really sad that he was really good Imperial agent. But then like he realized no one really cared. They're all just doing their job. They're all focused on the run thing and I have no relationships. I have no identity. And then he realized that the rebels had a family, they had a purpose, they had people that cared about each other, they knew what they wanted, and they wanted the rights of the people and freedom. And he started to see that, and by seeing that there was honor when he interacted with Zeb. So I love them together. Like I said, these lifts aren't perfect. And they're not following all the rules. But BD1. BD1, goat. Comes out of nowhere, tiny little droid, but makes a big presence. He heals Cal when he needs to. He goes through him through hard times. He has a previous owner, but then he decides to skip with Cal. He's just a cute droid. I really like BD1. I know her, but I'm spacing the name. You guys will tell me. Yeah, John, exactly. That's how I feel about Callus. Hot Callus with the strands of hair is better than Bucket Helmet Callus. Oh my gosh. I thought he was always attractive in his own way. I don't really like Rebel Callus as much. I don't know that Callus. Bo-Katan, thank you. I actually like Bo-Katan. She really grew on me. Yeah. I don't really know much about it. So I'll say Cal is legendary. He's not quite GOAT for me. Yeah. I mean, he came a long ways. He was trained when he was young, and Order 66 happened. His master got killed. He ended up getting away and surviving. Then he was working on ships for a long time, and then he ended up coming back and finding his purpose again in the Force and connecting again. So it's legendary to have that journey and have that on your own, essentially, besides little hollow messages. And then obviously he had his mentor, Seer. And I respect her journey. I will say she's a great character. She obviously cut herself off in the Force. She had a lot of guilt, but she still was willing to fight for something, even after she cut herself off. And she fought with, when we saw her fight, it was legit. And she taught Cal some good stuff. Yeah. He was a fun character. I'll say he's good. There's nothing too exciting about him. He had some fun dialogue moments. He was a good flight. Obviously, dedicating his ship to the cause. Yeah, her eyes, I know the animation they did with it. There are some moments, but... Oh! I liked her character. I'm gonna say great because she obviously was a really good fighter in the Imperial Army, but then she realized when there were things, when she realized the flaws and some of the terrible deeds that they were starting to do, even directly to their people, she's like, yeah. Marin, I think she's legendary, mostly because she's a really cool character. We honestly don't know much about her. There's not a lot we saw in her outside of a few summonings and abilities, but I think she's a cool character that I just like ranking her this high. I'd like to see, I can't wait for the JFO 2 and see more from her. Aiden's cliche, but that doesn't mean that those stories don't exist. So yeah, that story, but that happens all the time. That's a thing. These stories happen all the time. Who's this guy? I remember liking him. Or no, that's a douchebag. Is this the douchebag or the good guy? Revan would be up there. Cal needs to have a kid with Marin. Maybe. Super Force, baby. Pre-Vizsla. Oh, that was a douchebag. That was voiced by John. I mean, he was a good character for what he is. I just didn't care for him. He was a bad guy. Yeah, he's a douchebag. Honestly, for most of it, these characters were meh for me. They helped Ahsoka on her journey, but I wouldn't care so much to see them again. There's nothing wrong with them. They just are basic. Saw, I thought, was a great character. He went through an interesting journey. Had her, you know, he was always aggressive, fighty type, and his sister kind of balanced him, and he lost his sister. There was some trauma there, and he kind of had some craze from some chemicals, so yeah. I thought the Inquisitor was cool. I'd say he's great because he was a scary character and he was cool. Yeah. And finally, I thought she was cool. I think she's great because she played her role well. Trilla is, I don't say goat for me personally. I think she's a cool character. A great character. Yeah. There's my list! Like I said, it's not perfect, but I have no regrets. It was what it was. The lack of Sam Witwer. Sam Witwer would be up here. We'll just pretend Sam's right here. There's people that find this poop. Woo! Wow, I did it. Do it again. Oh my gosh. No, we'll probably wrap up stream here because I need to eat and I need to record. But review community rank? No, thank you. I can save it. Download. There you go. There's my Star Wars list making of the live action Rebels, Clone Wars, Mandalorian, Jedi Fallen Order, Battlefront 2, Rogue One, and Solo. Should you rank actors? Part of my biases were ranking actors. I don't think it's fair to do that. It's not very fun to rank real life people. Eat my waffle sandwich. I will. Don't judge me. Like I said, I got the banana almond coconut whipped cream, and then I have a BLT. Look how good that looks. Watch Avatar. I can't do that without John. I need to watch the Mandalorian episode. I usually do it on Saturday, but I didn't do it yesterday, so. Sucks that Reverend was a toxic streamer ranking. Oh my gosh, son. No. I just find that toxic, yeah. Bracket fights. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Wait, how many Star Wars ones are there? Clone Wars characters, clone troopers. Oh my gosh, my brain's done. Yeah, my brain's done. I can't do anymore. Where would Shock T be? Honestly, there's not. I mean, she's in a weird place. We saw her in a lot of different places, and I don't even know where to put her. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for coming to my random YouTube stream. I didn't get a chance to do the question and answers, but I didn't think how long this ranking would take, and it's starting to hit me. But yeah, if you guys like these live streams, I certainly recommend you following and joining our Twitch streams. I do this Friday, Saturdays, and Wednesdays right now on Twitch. And Fridays are Battlefront 2 days, and right now Saturdays is Soul Tour, or Star Wars The Old Republic. Eventually, and yes, I'm still doing my reactions. I'm still doing that. We're just taking more of a less often right now. So, but yeah, I hope you guys had fun. I'm gonna, eat some food. I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and hopefully see you on future streams. So, you guys have a good one. Stay safe. Bye.